What's up, everybody? Jesse Nunez here with the Elite Amateur Fight League, here with one of my alumni, Tyler Scott. You're looking good. You're not looking scarred up. You're looking fresh a little bit. Tyler, you've been active. You're fighting. Tell us all about it, brother.
Man, well, as you know, with COVID, no one's been that active for a while. But luckily, the last 2 months, I've gotten two fights in 8 weeks. So been staying pretty active, because otherwise haven't fought MMA since the finals, which was what, June of 18?
2019.
19, yeah, June of 19. So still about a year and a half almost.
Yeah, it's crazy out here, man. As a promoter, I can tell you that most states aren't allowing fights. The ones that are, it's sketchy. You can schedule a venue, schedule an event, and then before you get there, it gets canceled. We've seen a couple of those together.
Absolutely.
So tell us how it's been with the fight search, man. From a fighter's perspective, since COVID, how hard has it been to get a fight? And tell us your journey there.
Super hard. Well, I mean, you know that it's entertainment, right? So you're always kind of riding the wave of your last fight. So I was coming out hot after the EFL, amateur win. Had the title and everything, right? But as you knew, I broke my hand in that fight about early in the second round, and still took out the win. But I had about 6 months of recovery, which took me right about to January, February. So I decided to do a Muay Thai fight to get my feet wet for jumping back into it. And then February is when COVID started. From there, I was canceled show after canceled show. So then it was hard. It was already kind of a long layoff for me. And then it was, the shows just kept getting canceled. So I've almost been in this training camp for, like 9 months straight, just in and out, and then maybe a week off here because the show fell through. But here's another possible show, so let's train for that one again. So it's been mentally exhausting as much as it has been physically exhausting too.
So over the last year and a half, injuries, COVID, how many fights? You had 2 fights just recently, right, over a span of a couple of weeks. But how many fights fell through for you?
6.
So 6
full fights or the whole card itself. So,
right.
Yeah. So so I had 6, different events. Definitely 3 opponents, like everything lined up completely before it fell through. But 4. Well, yeah, 1 opponent twice, but yeah. So it would be, I guess, at least 4 where it was like all the way for sure to go, and then like 2 other shows that I was supposed to be on that went through too. So that was 6 canceled shows just from, I would say, March until now. So
yeah. So how's you're training at the gym over at Dominion? How's life been there? Through this COVID pandemic?
It's good. We're trying to maintain some sort of sense of normalcy. I'm the head coach over there, so it's nice I'm able to control things, a little bit more the way I want, especially for my training camp. I actually bring in my coaches and tailor just to myself after classes. So it's not like I'm jumping in, just with the normal Thai class and this and that. I'm the one who's usually teaching those classes. So then my coaches come in and, we work before classes, we work after classes. It makes for a longer day, but I think it makes for more of a professional camp of not just jumping in class, but, it's everything's suited for me.
Awesome, man. So, you made your run as an amateur. I think you were 10-3 total, right? As your amateur record.
Yeah, officially, I fought before the commission days. So there's probably about 6 or 7 that didn't count, but.
Right. So your official record 10-3. Your opponent this time out, this last fight, Pete Keepers, a 9-2 amateur. So 2 very veteran amateurs moving into the pro ranks. Tell me a little bit about that fight and how it went down.
Yeah, he was a tough kid. I knew, I saw a fight of his that after he got offered to me, and I was like, yeah, I'll take that one. And fishing through a little bit, I saw just how tough he was, looked at his record. Oftentimes a lot of guys with records like that, they're kind of padded. Not to say that his was padded, because I know that I saw at least, I knew 2 guys that he fought, and they were tough kids too. And he ended up having like TKO wins over him. So he was a guy with a good record, with some good wins too, not just one or the other.
Yeah.
So I knew he was tough. Luckily, I thought it was at least a little bit better of a matchup for me. I thought I was still better everywhere than him. I'm a striker, so if someone wants to strike, hey, perfect, right? But I've in all of my fights, I've proven that I have the grappling skills as well. So I knew if we took it there, that I would have the advantage. So as far as matchup goes, I knew it was tough, but I think I edged out everywhere except for his athleticism. He's a young kid. I think he was only like 20, 23 or something like that. So I'm old, so my body's probably feeling still a lot more than his, even though I took out the win.
Well, you're not that old, man. You got some time left. So, Caged Aggression is where you guys fought over in Iowa. It seems like Iowa is pretty much wide open with the fight scene still. I know they have a good show there. I know they do a good job with the production of the show, a lot like we do here at the Elite Amateur Fight League. It looked great. What was your, what was your experience there with Caged Aggression? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's great. Like I said, I've dealt with a bunch of different promoters since the EAFL, and Mike is the first one that's been super professional since then. It was almost hard going from the EAFL to a bunch of these other pro leagues. EAFL is an amateur league, but as I said back in all of our interviews back then, that it was way more professional than a lot of these other leagues. I'm not going to name them, but all the local pro leagues that aren't the top shelf UFC Fight Pass ones.
Right.
EAFL blew it away with not just its promotion, but even like the little things like having the runner in the back. Hey guys, boom, this fight's on deck. We got 10-minute intermission here. We got this and that. All these other shows, they don't do that. So people are always scrambling in the back. It's just kind of a lot more chaotic than it needs to be. And I got spoiled with the EAFL with having those things like, okay, I know pretty much exactly about 15 minutes until I go in, give or take, and perfect warm up in that. And Caged Aggression is doing a pretty good job with that too. The production is obviously great. I kind of created my own runners this time since last fight. I kind of had that issue with scrambling at the last minute to get out there.
So I was happy to see you land there, especially with the lack of pro fights in Illinois and in Indiana and in Wisconsin near us. Iowa's probably the closest drive, so it makes a lot of sense. It's always about taking those opportunities and making the most of them. It sounds like you did that down there. And, that's what you've done with us as well. I mean, you've taken all the hard fights that we could offer you as an amateur, and it seems like it's paying off for you in your pro career. The Elite Amateur Fight League is probably going to have, when things open back up, have 1 or 2 pro events a year. We'd love to get you on the card.
I'm there. I'm there. I'm a company man.
I love it, brother. I love it.
And we've been building a team at Dominion too. So we got a lot more up and coming amateurs coming up. A couple pros even over me too. So like my coach Dan Vizcaya, he's been pro forever. He's got wins over guys like Joe Vitapo and Jack Hermanson in Bellator. So
awesome.
So we're starting to build something a little bit more in the Midwest here, and as other things are kind of dying out, we're trying to do the opposite and not just hold on but flourish a little bit. So
talking about your pro career, is there anybody out there you'd like a rematch with, maybe from your amateur time, that you want to get a second strike at, or someone that's a pro that you're looking to fight, anything like that?
There is someone that I've been looking at for a while, and I thought that we were going to fight amateur, and it would be Seijo Imazaki. I know he was a UCL champion for a while, and I know he had a kind of a rivalry with Volante Atsis, who I fought for the finals right there, and I always thought that would be not a disrespectful call out by any means. I think Seijo is a super tough guy. I thought it would be super fun because I know he's got a karate background. Hey, I got a karate background, but we can also both wrestle. So it's not one of those stand-up fights just in MMA. We can both do it all, but you're going to see some spinning kicks. You're going to see some crazy Kyokushin stuff down there that you don't get to see. So I always thought that would be a super exciting fight, and I know he's had about 4 pro fights at this point now. So I always thought that would be a good one.
Nice. Well, we're looking in Chicago area, maybe in Northwest Indiana, to have our event. I have to look them up and then see if
What,
there's something we can do there.
what
Although,
are we thinking of here?
yeah. So we'll see what happens. Personally, man, how are things been for you through the pandemic, and how's work been, and how's all that going?
Man, it's well, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for everyone. Luckily, I mean, I'm lucky enough where I still have my job. We're still busy. Luckily, our Dominion is a family. It's not just a monthly membership of people coming and going, and that's it. Everyone kind of bands together, and of course, business took a hit. That it's not what it was pre-pandemic, but I think now at least people are getting tired of it. They want to do something, and they want to do something healthy. I Not to get too political, but I mean, when's the last time you heard anything on the news about having a strong mindset and a healthy body with your immune system? I haven't heard anything like that. I've just heard
Right.
staying.
Well, and honestly, I think the first time around through the lockup, there was a lot of uh, shutting down gyms and no training. This time through, there were actually a lot of medical professionals that stood up and said, "Hey, being healthy is going to help us through this pandemic. We don't think we should be closing gyms," and I think that's helped this time around.
Definitely, and I'm a type 1 diabetic too. The name sugar free comes from that. So that in itself, I have immunity disorder, so I am more susceptible. But you know what, I want to be healthy, and I'm putting myself in these positions where I'm around kids all day, which are disease traps. I'm going to these events. I flew out to Atlanta. I'm also taking care of myself at the same time. That's what it is. And I think that's really what it takes. But I think the economic hardship is gonna end up coming back and biting a lot of people.
Dude, really happy you had this fight. Really happy to see you moving on with your pro career. Uh, I always ask a random question to all of my guests. Your random question is this: if you were a superhero, what superhero would you be?
That's a good one. So that's, and I don't know if you know, Jesse, but I love superheroes. So this one's actually a deep thinker one for me.
That's
Uh,
cool. That's cool.
I think, so my favorite's Batman, but if I'm gonna pick a powers, it's gonna be the Flash.
Flash.
Just moving that fast. You can pretty much do anything. You see everything coming. I think that would be the best. If I want to go take a fight in California, boom, I'm there. Perfect. And then the fight would be even faster. So hey, there you go.
There you go. The Flash. So the Flash is your pick. We'll have to put that on the board. We're gonna make a board of all the fighters we interview, and we're
Speed
gonna
kills. Speed kills.
speed kills. Speed kills, brother. All right, man. Hey, well, stay safe. I'm glad you were able to join us today. Keep us posted with any new fights we've got coming out. Obviously, we'll keep you posted if we have a card coming up the pipe here. But everybody, sugar free Tyler Scott, watch him, check him out. Up and coming pro fighter.
Big things coming up, including that pro show of yours. So,
Awesome, bro.
I'll sell out.